First of all, I want to thank you for all of your prayers. The surgery on Wednesday morning was very successful on my other eye, so now I can see you really well. I have 20/20 vision in both eyes, so that's a really it's a miracle, isn't it, what modern medicine can do. This is the annual appeal Sunday for Catholic Charities, and so the first thing this morning is we're going to listen to Bishop Perez, who wants to say a few words about the appeal.
This is Bishop Perez. I'm often asked about my impressions of Northeast Ohio. In my short time here as Bishop of Cleveland, I've been inspired by the generosity of the faithful, the inspirational leadership of our good and holy priest, and by the breadth and scope of this region's Catholic Charities. This is a warm and caring community that goes out of their way to help their brothers and sisters in need. Today, I'm asking you to show mercy, which is the face of Jesus, by supporting the 2018 Catholic Charities Annual Appeal. Your support can transform lives and communities. The mission of Catholic Charities is a mission rooted in the gospel. It was Jesus who showed us how to be merciful, charitable, caring, and loving. In his apostolic exhortation, Joy of the Gospel, Pope Francis asks us to go forth and become a community that has an endless desire to show mercy. This year's Catholic Charities Appeal presents us with the opportunity to show the face of mercy, the face of Christ, to our brothers in need. Through Catholic Charities, we serve Mr. Lewis, who says that St. Martin de Porres Family Center saved his life. After his wife passed away, Mr. Lewis spent long days at home alone watching TV. One day, his daughter accompanied him to St. Martin de Porres, where a newly renovated and active senior center awaited him. Now he comes to the center 5 days a week to be with his peers and talk about the things they share in common. And if you ask him, he'll tell you that he is genuinely happy. St. Martin de Porres Family Center is a haven in a neighborhood riddled by poverty and violence. Thank God for their outreach and the transforming power of compassion. I ask you to join me in solidarity with those less fortunate by giving generously to the 2018 Catholic Charities Annual Appeal. For Mr. Lewis, your generosity brings the fullness of life even after the greatest of losses. Catholic Charities meets the needs of people where they are, regardless of their race, religion, or background. They treat each person with dignity as if they were serving Christ himself. It is your sacrificial gift to Catholic Charities that will help people move from despair to hope. Please prayerfully consider your gift to the 2018 Catholic Charities Annual Appeal. Your generosity will change lives. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless you in your generosity to the people served by Catholic Charities. I will now turn it over to your pastor, who will lead you in making your faithful pledge. Thank you.
The bishop made me do this. And it's a good thing. You know, in the last 2 to 3 years, our parish has given more than 100%. Last year it was 105% of what was expected of us from the diocese. And so I'm so proud of our parish, for all of you and your generosity. Like in the gospel today, it says that this man, this leper, came and asked to be cleansed, and he was. And of course, everybody found out about it, and they were rushing on Jesus. And that's, the church finds herself in the same position today because the church is Christ. And so many people in need of one thing or another come to the church for help. My phone rings every day from people who need help right here in the parish. And so the Lord just asks us to respond as best that we can. Some of us have already received a letter in the mail or will receive one from the bishop, and you may have already made your pledge for the coming year. But if you have, you still need to fill out one of these forms. So I'd ask, they're at the ends of the pews, if you would pass them down so that one per household is all that we need. Just one per household. And there's a pencil inside the envelope so that you can fill out the form. So like I said, if you have not given, if you already pledged, please fill it out. And there's a space there to say that I have already made a commitment. If you have never made a pledge to Catholic Charities, you might consider doing so this year. No matter how small the amount, when thousands of people are giving, it adds up to quite a bit so that the church can help people in need. So if you would please place your name, first name, last name, spouse's name on the first line, and then your home address. Please check new address if it's a new one this year since last year. And then the city that you live in, state of Ohio, and the zip code. And then they ask for your cell phone or your home phone number and email for future contact. Put St. Patrick and make sure you put WP, West Park, because there's 4 St. Patrick parishes in the diocese. So put St. Patrick, West Park. And if you're not from St. Patrick Parish, if you're visiting tonight, if you put your parish in, say if you come from Our Lady of the Angels for some reason here tonight, put in Our Lady of the Angels, and Our Lady of the Angels will be credited with your donation. And like I said, check if you've already given to the appeal through the mail. If you do not wish to make a gift or are unable to do so at this time, please check that box. You have the option of using a credit card payment if you like, and please fill in that information if that's what you choose to do. Putting in the number and the 3-digit security code and your signature. And then on the side there's suggested pledges. Look those over and see if there's one that fits your ability this year. And there's a check box for other if you want to just make a different donation. Then please place the total amount pledged in the top box and then the amount enclosed. If you want to put some money in today, you can. If you don't, just put a 0 there. And then they will bill you in 10 monthly payments each month so you don't have to remember to pay the pledge. Once you've filled it out, if you tear off that sheet that you were writing on and place it inside the envelope and then seal the envelope. But do not put the pencil back in the envelope because we need those for tomorrow. You can just leave those in the pew. Catholic Charities this past year served 400,000 people in the Diocese of Cleveland, and through 150 services and 60 different locations in 8 counties of our diocese. For more than 100 years, Catholic Charities has provided help and created hope for those who are most vulnerable and most in need. You see it in the news all the time, how many people are homeless, how many people are hungry, and the Lord needs us to be his hands and his heart and his feet so that we can help others. Catholic Charities does that in a tremendous way in our diocese. In fact, the Diocese of Cleveland, I don't remember if the bishop said it, but we're among the largest donors in the whole country for Catholic Charities. It says something about who we are as Catholic Christians. So I thank you for considering this, to reach out to those who are less fortunate. You see right now the homeless situation is really bad with the freezing weather, and the church is doing so much to try to provide housing, or at least overnight housing for people who are on the streets. So thank you again for your generosity. Certainly the Lord will reward you for that. when the offertory collection comes around, you could place the envelope in the offertory basket, and then we'll return them to the diocese tomorrow, on Monday.